Hey, what's up, y'all? This your girl Giggs. Welcome back to the channel. This is gonna be a cigarette diaries. Yep, I know I am due for one. Before I start with the disclaimer, let me just say, Giggs Uncut. I will be putting a video up on my Giggs Uncut channel within another day or so because I'm still editing. I got a lot of stuff that I recorded, so I'm still editing that video. But this is something that I just really want to touch bases on. So let me just go ahead and do the disclaimer. If you happen to be under the age of 18, this video is not for you. If you happen to have very sensitive ears for swearing, a very religious person that only totes your Bible on Sunday, and you just can't stand to hear the words like hoe, cunt, fuck, shit, motherfucker, asshole, bitch, nigga, cracker, dick, pussy, all of the above, this video is not for you. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead and get into the cigarette diaries. This is going to be called Self-Inflicted Wounds. Okay. I am guilty of choosing the wrong type of dudes that I deal with, and women too. I am totally guilty of doing it. But every time I leave a relationship, I learn from that relationship, and I teach myself what not to do and what not to stand for. And I go by that. You know, I have made mistakes in choosing an abuser, in the past, and if I would have did a little bit more research, I probably would have known off rip that he was an abuser. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I'm doing this video is because DearGiggs, I've been reading them fucking letters, and I swear to God, y'all, I cried on one of the letters. And the reason why is because the woman that wrote the letter, she actually lost a baby behind an abusive person. She lost her baby. He actually hit her while she was pregnant, and I don't want to really get into the details because it, you know, it just comes to the mind of, damn, you know, how much more could you have taken? Because reading the letter, I've read different things that he have done to her, and she always ended up going back until, you know, the time have came for her to, you know, finally lose her child in order for her to leave this man. That was the reason why she left him, because she lost her child behind it, and of course he went to jail. So, and the fucked up thing, y'all, this is the fucked up thing about the letter. She's still in love with him, and she still keeps in contact with him. Like, he's in prison for killing their baby. And, well, I don't know if he's in prison or if in jail or whatever. But, for, you know, she had lost her baby, and she still loved this guy. And she still writes him. She says she still send him commissary and everything. Okay. Let me just say this, y'all. Again, it's hard for me to like wrap my mind around how I'm gonna really put it out there, like how it's gonna be taken when I deliver it. But hopefully when I deliver it, you guys will understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. We as women, we have to do a little bit more than settle. You know what I'm saying? Because we be settling for the wrong niggas, and we know they the wrong niggas, and the only thing that you can say is the reason why you staying with this person is love. You don't say why you in love with this person, and you don't say what this person does good. Only thing you can think of is bad, but you love that person. And some people don't even know the definition of love. Honestly, they don't know. And you have to notice red flags. Me, for instance, my abuser, I was noticing the red flags, so I left him. It just so happened he came back 2 months later and, you know, tried to kill me. You know, I wasn't with him. I cut off all types of communication with him and everything, and he just came back 2 months later and he tried to kill me. That's how that went. But the red flags kept coming at me. And I ignored a few of them. I'm not gonna lie. I did ignore a few of them, but I didn't ignore all of them. And and to be honest, it was too many of them. That's the reason why I left him. I wasn't gonna settle with him. I mean, the dick was good. It was outstanding. The sex was great, but we had nothing in common. No type of compatibility at all. Like, I am a go-getter, and he was just basically a lazy nigga, to be honest. And you know, I'm way up here and he was just way down there, so we wasn't even balanced in our relationship. The only thing that was good was the sex and just the thought of me thinking that I was in love with him. And I really realized that after being out of the relationship, that really wasn't love, that was lust. So we have to start choosing the right people and stop settling for what we're not worth. If you know that you're worth more and you deserve more, stop fucking putting up with a nigga that's putting you through bullshit. And the only thing that you can say is, the only reason why I took this nigga back is because I love him. That's it. You just love him. Well, the title of this Cigarette Diaries is called Self-Inflicted Wounds. And the reason why I call it that is because some of us bitches, we do self-inflicted things, and then we want to blame every fucking body else. Now, for instance, have you ever met anyone, y'all, that just basically, no, this is just a question that I'm just going to ask y'all. Have you ever met anyone that basically tells you the reason why they're single or the reason why it didn't work out with their ex is because their ex did this and their ex did that and their ex did this and their ex did that, but they never say what they did, and they never say what was the complaints that their exes had against them? You know, like, let's say for instance, I meet a guy, we out on a date, and I'm asking him all about, you know, his last relationship, and the only thing he is doing is just simply bashing his ex. And he's probably telling the truth. I'm not saying that he's lying, because I swear when I talk about my ex, you know, I, you know, make his character look kind of bad too. But then when you think about it, that is basically the person that I chose to be with. That's the person that he chose to be with, the person that he's bashing. And then I want to know too, what was those complaints that that person that you're bashing had against you? What is it that they didn't like about you? Because when we get to meet somebody, we're trying to, like, basically give them all the good shit, all the shit that, you know, rings bells. Like, you know, I got a good job, I got this and I got that, but I want to know the bad shit too. Because if you tell me the bad shit, I can go ahead and make the decision if I want to go any further in a relationship with you. So in order to do that shit, be that person's friend, get to know everything about that person that you need to know before you lay down with that person, before you give your heart with that person. Because the only thing you're doing is depriving yourself from information that you would need to know in the future. Like, you might need to know that this nigga is retarded. You might need to know that this nigga is deranged. You might need to know that he has a short fuse, and if you push his button, he might punch you in your shit. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, if I would have did a background check on my ex-boyfriend, I would not have him even, you know, went further in our relationship. It only took a background check in order for me to just say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. But I never went and got a background check, or I never checked on my own to see what was going on with this person. But I did see those red flags, so what I did was I left. And then since he jumped on me afterwards, I had to press charges, and then I seen this nigga's whole background, and of course this man had domestic violence charges already, where he even openly told me that he beat the shit out of his ex-girlfriend. And that was like, you know, where I was like, you know what, I can't even deal with this relationship. Let me move the fuck on. You know, we ladies have a low tolerance for a lot of shit. I mean, we might sit up here and have too much pride and say, you know what, he'll never do that shit to me. Or we might look at somebody else's situation and say, oh, that'll never happen to me. You never know. You never know. The person that you're fucking right now could be crazy than a bitch, and you never know. And sometimes you might do a background check and you still never know. But only thing, I guess what I'm trying to say is, some women, they tolerate too much and they go back after the person hurt them the first time. They go back, they get hurt again the second time, they go back, they get hurt again and continue to get hurt again until something like losing your child, your unborn child happens, and it makes you think, hey, this person is not for me. But in this woman's case, she actually still supporting the person that took her child, basically, you know, like, and he's in jail. Like, woman, how much more do you need? I mean, come on now. Like, are you that fucking lonely to where this man have that much control over you? We have to gain our control back, y'all. We have to gain our control back. Why keep stabbing ourselves? Because after the person cheat on me, you know what I'm saying, I realized he cheated, and he give me all of the excuses of why he cheated, and then I'm back with him, and then he cheats on me again. It's like I keep stabbing myself over and over and over again. That is called self-inflicted wounds. That is something that we basically brought onto ourselves. I mean, I tell you no lie, it seems so easy to do. If you sit back and you listen to the stuff that you say come out of your mouth, then you would probably be a better person. Because all of the complaints that I had about my ex, I was complaining and I was complaining, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done. So I left. But I should have left the first time. So like I said, I am guilty. I am guilty of self-inflicted wounds, and I just know that now that I'm grown and I'm older, because every relationship that I've been in, I learned from that relationship. Every relationship my sister and my mom being in, I learned from theirs, or what I'm not gonna do, what I'm not gonna tolerate and shit. And honestly, to be honest, my sister and my mom could tell you that I am the most strongest person ever as far as when it comes to men. I can leave them just like that, only because I choose me first. I choose me first. I always want to give women my strength of loving themselves, because if you love yourself, you'll know that a person that comes along and want to lay down with you and be with you and even have kids with you have to love you the right amount of love that you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself and they see that they can take advantage of that, they're not going to love you either. And if you keep tolerating and tolerating and tolerating it, you kind of the blame. You got to take part blame of what that person have done to you. You can't bash that person. You allowed it to happen. Now, I'm not trying to re-victimize nobody. I've been a victim, and I know how it is to be like, why you didn't do this and why you didn't do that. But at the end of the day, people fail to realize that I was not in a relationship with this guy when he jumped on me, and it has already been 2 months that passed. I left him alone. So I can't tell you the reason why a guy came knocking on my door and tried to take my life. I can't. But if I was with that guy and he tried to take my life, okay, then you should come with why. But I wasn't with him. So that's why I'm trying to say mine's a little bit different. I left him. I seen the red flags and I left. And I'm not trying to hold that up as like a glory or like a trophy that, hey, I left the dude that abused me. No, I am trying to make it aware and make my mistakes, hopefully somebody can learn from my mistakes and where I fucked up at. But to be honest, if you just choose yourself, ladies, I don't know how much more that I can just say this, but if you can just choose yourself over anything else, at the end of the day, you would know what is true and what is false. If you choose yourself and you see that this person is not treating you as much as you would treat yourself, leave that person, or at least let them know that, hey, you're gonna have to step up, and if you don't step up and you know, step your game up, then I'm gone, because I can't take no more, and I deserve so much better. It's somebody out there for me. I know. I met him. I love him. I'm so much in love with him. He's my soulmate, y'all. It hurts my heart because I love him that fucking much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's somebody out there for me. At first, I never thought that it would be nobody out there for me. I never thought that I would find somebody that was so compatible to me, that was, you know, a go-getter like me, that we enjoy the same things. We're like twins when it comes to different, you know, different scenarios. We like the same thing. And I know y'all hear it in my voice how much I love this man, because I'm about to break down. But I couldn't tolerate being deprived from the attention that I wanted, you know, and the only way that I can get that attention is if it was just me and him. But, you know, needless to say, he was in love with someone else, and it is possible for a person to be in love with two people. And the only reason why I know it's possible is because it happened to me. And being that he was my best friend for 3 years, and he was with his girlfriend on and off for 7 or 8 years, and, you know, at the time when it was one of those off times, me and him realized that we actually are compatible and stuff. And then his girlfriend, you know, she was going through some things, and, you know, just to make a long story short, I told him to choose her, because at the end of the day, he loved her more than he loves me, and she was there before me. I never would be the other woman. I'll still be his friend, but if he loved her more than me, then I'm going to be deprived from a lot of things. I'm going to be deprived from holidays, deprived from birthdays, deprived from just time, you know. So our relationship didn't grow. It didn't grow, but I know that he'll be back, and when he do come back, it'll be able to grow. The reason why I say I know that he'll be back is because he's giving his all right now with the girl that he has been with for 7 years, and if she has been the same chick for the past 7 years, then of course she's gonna lose him, because I know her too, and she ain't, you know, she don't know how to love him the way I could. And I mean, I can't tell you all the good about her, because I don't know all the good. I do know some good, but I know that the bad outweighs the good when it comes to her, and that she can never be his best friend the way that I am. So I don't want to, you know, complicate things between her and him, so I stepped back, because he still was in love with her. And, you know, that's why I was saying it's not good to try to be a rebound chick, because although he was still in love with her, and he made it known that he was still in love with her, I was there trying to, you know, comfort him at the time that they broken up, and that comfort turned into something else, and then they end up getting back together, and I end up getting the short end of the stick. So I decided to just not go any further with it. It hurt, but honestly, if I would have continued to deal with this guy, those would have been self-inflicted wounds. Me being the other woman, no. That's something that I don't deserve. I am way more better than that. I am way more better than that. So I had the strength to leave, y'all. I had the strength to leave, because I know that it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work between him and her already with the problems that they have. And he might not come back today or a month from now, even some years from now, but whenever he come back, I'm gonna take him in open arms, because I know that he's my soulmate. I know it for a fact. But that doesn't stop me from dating other people, because, you know, I gave him the okay to do, you know, continue to make it work, try to make it work with her. And that means that I'm not going to sit back and just not do anything. So I'm dating, and I'm not having sex with nobody, but I am dating. And starting off as friends is the best way to go, because he was my best friend for 3 years. So whoever I'm dating now, I'm trying to just be on a friendship basis for now. And then he'll probably be able to get these goodies. But, you know, like I said, I have gotten some head from the nigga. But, you know, other than that, you know, I'm not trying to rush into anything at all, because sex does complicate things. And I'm talking about sex, not oral sex, but, you know, the dick going in the pussy and shit. So I don't want to do a self-inflicted thing anymore. I am tired. I'm in my 30s, so I've been there and I've done it. I played. I know exactly what I want now, and I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it by any means necessary. And if it's not from the person that I'm dealing with right now, then it'll be from somebody else. I'm not gonna sit up here and just put up with this person and settle with this person just because I feel like I love him. No, I'm gonna get what I deserve. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I wouldn't have to have a sad story if he was, you know, the perfect guy. So there's no perfect guys out there. I'm not saying you're not gonna have a sad story. You're gonna have a sad story, but at the end of the day, what part in that sad story did you play? Did you play the cards correctly, or did you continue to get hurt? Did you continue to get hit? Did you continue to get heartbroken? You know, just everything. You're taking yourself through it. It's not just them taking you through it. I heard my sister say this plenty of times. He just won't leave me alone. He just won't leave me alone. No, it's not up for him to leave you alone. It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? She finally see it, that it's up to her to leave him alone. Because if she sit back and let him do all of the shit that he do to her, then she gonna have to take blame in that. And that's what I tell all my sisters. Everybody that writes me, everybody that writes me, I'll be like, you already know what I'm gonna say. How much more could you tolerate? How much more could you take? You know what I'm saying? If the bad outweighs the good, leave. If the bad is like on the same level as the good, I would say try to make it work. But if it's not gonna work, leave. If the good outweighs the bad, stay, and of course try to make it work. You know what I'm saying? But don't ignore the red flags. Don't forget yourself. Don't forget what you are worth, because most dudes do a lot of stuff to get you, but they would stop doing that stuff after they have gotten you. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad that let me just take a moment real quick.
Not real hard, it's plain and simple. Not real hard, it's plain and simple. Not real hard,